What up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your guy. Hit the keys. Here today to do a quick review and demonstration over the Austrian Audio MiCreator Studio. What is the MiCreator Studio? You may be asking yourself. Well, it is this microphone and interface in one that I am using right now. So when you take a look here at the Austrian Audio MiCreator Studio, it's going to look like this. It has a very nice build. What's different on this microphone than most USB microphones is if you look here at the back, it has two different outputs and inputs. So there's an input for you to use for instruments, and then there's also an output for you to hook your headphones up. So you can use this just like an interface with zero latency. I'll let you guys hear a sound demo with the vocal later, with an instrument later, and I'll let you see it in use on a stream that I did on Sunday as well. So what you're going to get is you're going to get this instrument cable in the box. So this instrument cable has, you know what I'm saying, basically a headphone jack to 1/4 inch. And then the headphone jack, you'll plug into here, and then you can plug this into your instrument, whether it's a guitar amp, whatever it is, a synthesizer, whatever instrument that you have that can hook up with this, you can use on that. You're also going to get this carrying case right here. So boom, bam, you can just easily drop your mic in here, and bam, just like that, you have a case for your microphone. Another feature on this is kind of cool. As you see here, it has these plates. So you can change the color of the plates. The plates are just plastic. As far as the build on the microphone though, it is really good. It is metal all the way around all this, but the plates are just plastic. And then boom, bam, you can just smack this plastic plate on just like that. And now you've changed the color. So you can go between the black or you can go to red. They also give you a plate for the back too. Really easy to get off. But boom, bam, as you see here, just like that, now we have a different looking microphone. So that's a cool feature. Some people may not like it. Some people may like it. I get it, but I think it's kind of cool. And the orange or the red matches the outside of the condenser microphone. So that's solid too as well. So they pitched this thing as an interface with a condenser mic hooked up to it. In my opinion, it's pretty fire. I'm not even gonna hold y'all. The price on this is $299. Let's go ahead and take a look here at this a little bit more, some of the specs. So one more thing to mention is that they also have this MiCreator satellite. And so this MiCreator satellite, it also can link to this microphone. So now you can record things in stereo. You can do a bunch of cool things. You can do a bunch of dope things. That's pretty solid. So it also has a lavalier too that comes with it. Let's go over some of the specs. I'm just going to pull them up and read them off the screen for you so you guys can read along with me. So as we see here, the directional pattern is cardioid. The digital resolution is max 48 kilohertz, 24-bit. The frequency range is 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. The sensitivity is -35 dBF. The sensitivity is -35 dBFS PA. And on low gain, it is -15 dBS high gain. What I didn't mention is that there are these different switches for low and high gain. So if you're using a high gain instrument, you can turn it down to low. But normally if you're going to have it on high, that's what you're going to use for your vocals. And then we see here the equivalent noise level is 22 dB SPL. Hardware gain switch 0 dB. Max SPL is 130 dB SPL. The output power is 45 watts. The digital connector is USB-C. The analog connectors are one TRS 3.5 millimeter for in and outs, and then one TRS 3.5 for headphones. The dimensions are 155 by 60 by 37 millimeters, and this thing weighs 370 pounds. So she's not too thick. All right, so during this whole testing, I won't do any post-processing. It might sound a little bit different because if I'm talking like this, it's gonna sound better because I'm facing the microphone, but there's times where I have to turn my head to look at the camera, so it's gonna look just a little bit off. So we'll just tilt the mic. So now what I wanna do real quick for you guys is let's test out the shock mount because the shock mount on this is pretty good. So I'm gonna start off right now, I'm tapping the desk. So if you heard anything, that was from me tapping the desk. If you didn't, then that's what the shock mount sounds like. Now, if I tap the mic arm, and that's what the shock mount's gonna sound like. Let's do a proximity test. All right, so this is what it's gonna sound like when I'm about 6 inches away from the microphone, for about a half a foot away from the microphone. This is what it's gonna sound like if I am a foot away from the microphone. This is what it's gonna sound like if I'm about 2 feet away from the microphone. And this right here, my friends, is what it sounds like if I am 3 feet away from the microphone. I know I didn't need the tape measure, but I thought it would be funny. Maybe it wasn't. But that's what it's going to sound like distance-wise. Now let's go ahead and talk about if we move the mic from the side. So if I am talking right now into the right side of the microphone, so I've turned it to the side, as you guys can see. This is what it sounds like 6 inches away. This is obviously what it sounds like if I'm speaking right in front of the microphone. This is what it's going to sound like. This is what it sounds like if I'm talking into the left side of the microphone. And then this right here is what it's going to sound like if I'm talking into the back of the microphone. All right, guys, so now what I want to do is I want to show you how you can use this with your instrument. So I'm going to do all this in real time. So I'm going to do all this in the video. So in front of me right here, I have my Novation bass station. As you guys can see, it is a mono synth. So I'm basically going to just hook this up real quick. So I'm going to plug this in to the back of my synthesizer, as you guys can see right here. Just want to make sure you guys know what's going on. So my line output right here. So you see, bam, I've plugged this cord into the back of the synthesizer. Sorry if I got all loud and that got a little distorted. It is what it is. Now we're just going to go ahead and take that cord from the back of that synthesizer and plug it in right there on the ends. And I got to grab my headphones real quick and plug my headphones in so I can hear too as well. So boom, bam. Now we have my headphones. We've also plugged those into the back. So now you guys can hear me talk clear as day. And then I can push down on the synth. Just remember though, when you're recording your instruments, if you're recording your instruments into the computer and you're doing it like this, you might want to turn down the mic level on the front to mute it, because there is going to be a high, a low, and a mute button on the front side of it, as you guys can see right here. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to mute the microphone so it's not getting any extra sound from the microphone as it's recording the instrument too as well. But we can go to another patch. I did not want to play the guitar because my guitar skills are even worse than my keyboard skills. But it does work with the guitar. Whatever instrument is that you have, they will all work perfectly fine. And right here, I have actual footage of me using the microphone on stream real quick. Let me go ahead and play that for y'all. So as y'all see here, this was my stream. I streamed this on Sunday, but I actually used this microphone because I wanted to test it out live on stream and see if I had any issues with it. I'm going to start doing that with some of these mics and some of this equipment that I get. If it's not like, you know, release date content, I might mess with it on a stream first before I actually do a review on it, just so I can get an idea of it. But this is kind of how it sounded on stream live with no edits. Again, I'm not editing any of the audio on this. This is all raw sound. There's no compression. There's no gate. There's no de-esser. I'm not going to put anything on the microphone. It's going to be just the raw microphone. Pause. Y'all hear me all right? I'm using a different mic today. Y'all hear me all right? I'm using a different mic today. Can you still hear me good back here too? The same? Like this far back? Let me know. Does it sound clear? But that was kind of me using it on stream. I got a lot of commentary on stream. They like the microphone. You know what I'm saying? Don't really compare this to the other microphone I have, because you're looking at a $1,500 microphone with a $1,500 interface. This is $200, and I think that this is great for $200. So let's go ahead, hop into FL Studio now. So I have this little vocal that I laid down for this. So what I want to do is I'm going to play it so you guys can hear what an actual vocal recording sounds like. So let me go ahead and go into here. And then let me go ahead and mute everything but the vocal, and then turn off all the effects. So this is what that vocal is going to sound like with no effects on it at all. How you hustle with no checks, muscle with no flex. They forgot about a nigga, so I came to collect. These rappers sounding like Mitch is slicing at your neck. Serving these hoes next, pass them a Kotex with a pocket full of flowers, call it a bouquet. If we talking about money, I gotta go get. Deadly like Russians playing the roulette. All right, so then if I come back down here and I turn all the effects back on, that same vocal sounds like this.
How you hustle with no checks, muscle with no flex. They forgot about a nigga, so I came to collect. These rappers sounding like Mitch is slicing at your neck. Serving these hoes next, pass them a Kotex with a pocket full of flowers, call it a bouquet. If we talking about money, I gotta go get.
So that's what it sounds like in the mix. Or well, not in the mix, but that's what it sounds like just with some processing on it. And then this is all rough mixed down. But this is what it sounds like in the beat. And I'll just play the whole verse for you guys.
Check, yo, check. How you hustle with no checks, muscle with no flex. They forgot about a nigga, so I came to collect. These rappers sounding like Mitch is slicing at your neck. Serving these hoes next, pass them a Kotex with a pocket full of flowers, call it a bouquet. If we talking about money, I gotta go get. Deadly like Russians playing the roulette. Hip hop's my main bitch, I'm here to protect, no sweat. Pocket full of herb bags, I'm stuffing one bird. Glad I'm cuffing, use a ragamuffin Facebook tag your cousin, stay shook, mad for nothing straight. Look bad for front, frick, get mad when hunting. Keep these lyrics powered up, recharged like lithium. Bars, I'm spitting them, retards uplifting them. Got them going nuts, time to start admitting them. Treating rappers like weights, go hard when hitting them.
All right, so that was the little demo that I put together for you guys today. That verse is probably about 10 years old, so it was just something I wanted to put it down and record so that you guys can get a good sound demo and understand what this mic's gonna sound like when you're using instruments on it, how it's gonna sound on live stream, how it's gonna sound when you talk into it, and then how it's also going to sound when you are recording into it, vocals live or whatever. So what are my final thoughts on this microphone? I think that this microphone would be an absolute beast to anybody who's a new creator or anybody who travels and does music, because the hassle of taking a microphone, taking an interface, taking your XLR cords, taking all this stuff when you're going to different places to record, this just kind of nips that in the bud. Especially, again, like if you're traveling, you're going to NAMM or you're going out of town, but you need to record or you need ideas or this is even dope for just the interface, because look how small it is compared to what other interface that you're going to take out or whatever the case is. And you have a microphone on there. And I forgot to mention that the microphone tilts. You know what I'm saying? So you can, direct this however you want to. It's $199, which I think is a great deal for like an interface and a microphone, especially because this is like a real interface. Not even like, it's a real interface because it has your ins, your outs. You know what I'm saying? It gives you an in and it gives you an out. So again, in my personal opinion, I think that this thing is pretty dope, especially for somebody maybe who's just getting into, whether it's creating content and you just need a microphone to record your content with, whether it's a microphone that you need to take on the road with you, whether it's your entry-level microphone because you don't have an interface. So now you're trying to figure out, do I want to spend $150 on an interface and $150 on a microphone when you could just get a solid microphone for $200? For me, I think it's dope. I think it's fire. So make sure if you guys do like this content though, you drop a whole elbow on that like button, hit subscribe to that notification bell so every time we bring you guys a new video, you can be the first to see. Appreciate you guys' time as always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Some, hit the key.